Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to help you cut through the noise and get, really informed on key issues.
That's the goal.
Today, we're digging into something quite specific. It's a piece of the conversation around a big potential development in New York City, a Bronx casino rezoning.
And specifically, how a single piece of media, a call to action, tries to influence things.
Exactly. How much weight does that actually carry in, well, the pretty high-stakes game of city politics?
It's a good question.
So the source we're focusing on is just an excerpt, actually, from an article. It's titled, Bronx Casino Rezoning, A Call to Council.
Right. Short, but potent.
Very potent. It doesn't mince words. It presents a really clear viewpoint, an unequivocal one, you could say.
And the core message.
It's basically a direct challenge. It says the NYC Council must ignore partisan politics and fight on against a Bronx casino rezoning okayed by Mayor Adams.
Okay, wow, that phrasing, fight on against something the mayor has okayed. That immediately jumps out if you follow city politics at all.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's setting up this explicit demand for the council to actively, well, oppose something that's already got the mayor's, stamp of approval, at least initially.
Right.
And this isn't just about one casino project, is it? It's really about the mechanics of power, influence, how urban governance actually works. So for you listening, this kind of highlights that tension. Sometimes it's a delicate balance. Often it's outright friction between the mayor's office, the executive, and the city council, the legislative side, especially on these big land use decisions.
So let's talk about that specific phrase. Ignore partisan politics. That's a key part of the demand.
It really is.
When the source tells the council to fight on by setting aside politics, what's it really asking them to do? Especially if, their party might usually align with the mayor.
Well, it's asking a lot. It's basically saying, look, put aside your party loyalty, forget any political allegiances, maybe even ignore the kind of subtle pressure that comes from being in the same party as the mayor.
Just focus on the project itself.
Exactly. Vote based only on what you think are the merits or the drawbacks of this casino proposal, independent of who else has already given it the thumbs up.
That's a tall order in politics.
It absolutely is. And something important for listeners thinking about city development mechanics. The mayor's office okaying something like this, rezoning.
Right.
Well, that's often an executive endorsement. It's crucial, yes.
But not the final word.
And not necessarily the final legislative step, no. The city council, particularly with land use, holds, significant power. That's precisely why this call to fight on has teeth, or why the source hopes it does.
It really gets to a fundamental challenge, doesn't it, in how cities plan and make decisions. This one source, even though it's brief, it kind of perfectly captures that tension we see between different branches of local government.
It does. And it also shows how outside voices like this article try to weigh in, try to influence that dynamic.
Pushing for a specific outcome, even if it means directly challenging the mayor's support.
Which, brings up a really important question for anyone thinking about this stuff.
What's that?
In what ways do these kinds of direct calls, these demands for a legislature to, quote, fight on against what the executive has already approved, how much does that actually impact where a big project ends up?
Right. Does it genuinely shift the balance? Does it empower the opposition in a meaningful way?
Or does it maybe just, throw a spotlight on a divide that was already there?
That is the core question, isn't it? Something critical to think about as we watch, how our cities get built, how these major decisions get made.
And who ultimately gets the final say when you have all this public and political pressure swirling around?
Absolutely. Well, hopefully this deep dive into just one specific piece of that puzzle has given you something interesting to consider about the really intricate ways local governance works.